Don't believe in the warning? Check out the trailer.
It must have been a little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon that it began. The afternoon of June 3rd, 1916.
Fire 1, Fire 2.
This could have been the end. The end of just another tragic episode in war at sea. But for the few survivors of a torpedoed merchant ship and the crew of a German U-boat lost in the frozen South Atlantic, it was the beginning of an incredible adventure. For this was the day the 20th century met the primeval world face to face. American International presents The Land That Time Forgot. An astounding motion picture based on the book by Edgar Rice Burroughs, creator of Tarzan and the most thrilling science fiction stories ever written. Travel through an underwater passage and discover an awesome prehistoric world. Fight for your life against the terrifying creatures of a lost continent. Come face to face with primitive man and learn the secret of evolution. The Land That Time Forgot.
Mr. Tyler!
Starring Doug McClure.
There's a secret to this island. Something that we haven't been able to fathom yet. And whether we stay or get away may depend on it.
It's action, danger, and adventure on an epic scale.
How much longer do we give them?
We're not leaving without them! We're going to get out! You will never forget Edgar Rice Burroughs' The Land That Time Forgot.
Hello and welcome. As you know, I buy bad movies, but this time I'm talking about some good old child history of good old rubbish I used to watch. Yeah, we're talking about a author called Edgar Rice Burroughs. He wrote some very popular books, like maybe Tarzan. You may not have heard of him. John Carter from Mars, you might have heard of that. But yeah, he did other adventure books, and one is what gets our imagination back in our time when we were little kids in the 70s, because I'm a 70s kid. I've got to quickly explain that we didn't have the good fortune of the internet or demand TV or anything. If you wanted to watch a specific film, you had to wait for it to come on TV, and you may guarantee every year they may play this movie. And obviously I was a kid, and at the time when you're little kiddie winkies, that you have the obsession of wanting to see dinosaurs in movies, and there was quite a big variety of dinosaur movies, but yeah, this one has more of a sort of a adventure as well. Yeah, we're talking about the Land That Time Forgot, and it stars a Pacific actor what can't be forgotten. Yeah, I'm talking about the one and only guy what kept on collecting wives and then collecting ex-divorced wives, but yeah, we all know that it's the one and only Doug McClure, because he was so popular helping us British out, especially with our, the rubber dinosaur movies. His biggest role, everybody might remember, is Transfers in the TV series Virginia. It went on for 9 years, back in 1962 to 1971. And then Doug, yeah, he had to do our dinosaur rubber monster movies for us, you know, low budget movies, yeah. But don't forget the big adventure movies. So for us little wee little kiddies to see dinosaurs in, alright, in that performance, yeah, alright, but yeah, stop motion is quite time consuming, and obviously you'd be thinking, no. Yes, there was other big popular movies, you know, with stop motion you may think of, you know, the classic Willis O'Brien, what did the 1933 King Kong. Guarantee that will always be on once a year, or sometimes maybe twice a year on TV. Us kids will, you know, we had to wait for these to come on TV. But yes, inspiration of stop motion, you'd be thinking of Harry Harryhausen, you know, with his Sinbad movies, and movies he's done like The Beast from BC and stuff. All them monster movies, you'd be thinking, you know, he could have been doing stop motion in the, you know, the Land Before Time Forgot, but no, we had to put up with puppets, and that's how it worked, you know. But yeah, the cheapness of it, we can show you some tricks and stuff and all that lot with wet toilet paper or polystyrene. They always try to do it as cheap as they could, and according to Dougie, by one of his wives, that, you know, he was gullible. Especially, she comes out with a famous saying, well, a speech and a story about him getting a job, and he was the only one for the interview, and he didn't ask for more pay. It's more interesting for her to explain, you know, negotiation, how, you know, how gullible he was.
He was not only fun, but do you have any idea how naive Dougie was?
How naive was Doug?
He was, okay, he started on Overland Trail, correct? Okay. When that show was over, then they put him, they being Universal, put him into a series called Checkmate. Remember that?
Yes.
He was a detective. A couple of years with Tony George. Now the series comes up called The Virginian, and he said, oh boy, they just don't see me as a cowboy. And I said, what do you mean they don't see you as a cowboy? He said, well, you know, they want me to test. And I said, why? What? This is about money. This has to be about money. They're just doing their old studio trick. And he said, nope, I know it. They don't see me as a cowboy because I've been a detective, so I'm going to have to test. And I said, okay, but who else is testing besides you? And he said, I'm the only one.
Yeah, we all know with our British director, you know, Kevin Connor, that he produced, well, at least about 4 of these movies with Doug McClure, and for us kids, you know, waiting for this movie to appear maybe once a year, and obviously later on in time there were 4 what came out in you know, quite a variety of gaps of years, but yeah. So I should move on and talk about the actual movie, the first installment. So you've got the funny comedian Keith Barron playing Bradley in this movie. So he's in a big adventure movie, but I remember in this very corny, you know, maybe unfaithful husband on holiday wanting to get off with somebody else's wife. Yeah. So how does the adventure start? That the land that time forgot. Well, it starts off with, well, I should get out of the way, because it's quite interesting to find out more information about, who did what and all that lot. We know that Doug McClaw plays a character called Bowman Tyler, and he did some form of narrating and explaining the story a lot quicker compared to the book. Now, the book has a character in that is not completely in the movie, and that is Nobbs. Now, Nobbs is a dog of Bowman Tyler's companion, or man's best friend. So when they literally get shipwrecked, because they do get sink and destroyed by a U-boat, because it's full of Germans, and in the book they are quite horrible and nasty, because in the film it's a kids adventure movie, so they don't go as gruesome like the book does. So when they ship what is actually a photograph, that's how special effects was really done, really cheap, that somebody was quite proud they had the photograph, and obviously maybe a bathtub or whatever, rippling water and all that lot. The effects were done that way, that the boat was sunk as we see in the film, but in the book it slowly sank, and a lot of people got on lifeboats, and they were all women and children, and the submarine submerged, and that's where they used that cannon and started killing civilians, and they explain in the book that they're killing women and children. But in the movie we're getting using that gun shooting Triceratops, for no reason. But and yeah, it's very simple that we get just one lifeboat, and it's that simple. Yeah. So Doug McClaw, simply on the movie, he has a boat and he's got a lady with him, and it's the actress Susan Penn Halligan, and she's quite, very popular, but she's playing her character as Lisa. Yeah, her character is Lisa Clayton. Yeah, so it's very convenient that Doug McClaw's got a lady on the lifeboat, but he soon gets interrupted because it's a kids' movie. Yeah, we got to have a few blokes with them. Yeah, because obviously they're going to end up in a land full of dinosaurs, and some people have got to get eaten, aren't they? And it won't be all the Germans, will it? You'll have to see and find out, won't you? But yeah, so you've got the actor John McCurney playing the German commander, and he's quite sort of a reasonably nice German for some reason, but his henchman he wants to go up and kill, like the book does, kill innocent women and children on lifeboats, but he's not bothered. And obviously, if I was run over the movie, it's full of fog, so that's their excuse not to go hunting civilians with their terrible cannon on their submarine, because Doug McClaw's character Tyler Baldy, or Baldy Tyler, his father and his company created these submarines, and in the book he specifically knows this submarine, but that's the book. So Yeah, the evil German is played by Anthony Hamfley Dietz, I think. Sorry for my Yorkshire accent, but yeah, you know. So you got the actor Anthony Hazley. Now he is more or less the big antagonist villain, because he plays the German what's in charge of the cannon, and especially in the book, as you all know, it all hints at, you know, killing women and children. But our German commander does actually mention that, you know, it wasn't such a civilian ship completely, you know, in the film, you know, full of explosives and all that lot. And to make it more cheaper, they did cut certain stuff out. Well, we're glad they didn't have to pay for a dog called Nobs. But yeah, our Doug McCall character does get saved by a tugboat. Now you can imagine the miniatures with, you know, the toy submarine and a toy tugboat, but obviously they couldn't even afford a toy ship, so you know, they used a photo. So to save on costs, you know what I mean, they really got a boat, but it speeds the story even better from the book, actually. I mean, you can imagine the times, us 70s kids. I mean, sorry if you're a lot younger, but if you're really old in the 70s, we all remember them old shops, you know, them old toy shops we had. You know, it was just specifically a toy shop. And, you know, around Christmas or whatever, and, you know, if you bought a brand new toy, they used to actually wrap it up in brown paper for you as well, you know, and you don't get that type of service. And you can imagine your imagination thinking, if you want to make your own homemade film, if you had the lookiness of having a camera, I mean, now you think about, you know, one tip of my head is like, you know, you got, you know, big Jack films, you know, he's always on about the remake he made of King Kong, and a lot of people do the remake of King Kong, you know, the 1933 one, but has anybody really had a go at these old classic Doug McCall movies? I mean, it's still a big adventurous story, and the idea I get is because, you know, you guaranteed these old shops we had that they always sell them plastic dinosaurs, and if you bought the pterodactyls, you know, the wings didn't flap or anything, you know, it's just like a glider. And obviously this is a lot later on in the movie, and yeah, alright, it's not Harry Harryhausen, you know, with stop motion, but you know, you can just imagine if you're that eager to make a movie, you just want to do it, you know, maybe with puppets or, you know, stuff, but you'll have your imagination to do with this, and it worked when you was a kid in the 70s, and now it's something to laugh at, really, but it's still got some nostalgia to it, and yeah, I should be talking about more further on about the movie. So, German Commander, I'm going to call him, played by John McKendy. Now, it does sound a little bit odd because his voice is dubbed, and this is where in my head, I keep thinking of somebody else, and I am going to be bad at whatever I'm doing, trying to explain this. So you'd be thinking it's quite strange having people dub, but that's what the British did actually, you know, like the Bonds and all that lot. So Anton Divry, I always going to have a sort of vision it's him, but it's not him, but it sounds like him because it is him, well, it's his voice. It's like listening to Doug McCall being dubbed. Now, for Yorkshire folk, it might have been Andy, as you know, Bo Tyler with a Yorkshire accent. It might work.
Don't worry, love, we haven't got no food or water or shelter. But yeah, you haven't got much up at top, have you? It's the right set of Yorkshire puddings. But don't worry, we'll have that in the sequel. But don't worry, love. Bloody Yorkshire puddings, I'm going to list them a bloody lot. Aye, I am. But by heck, aye. Just get down, love, I'm trying to find the right set of lasses in this local area if she's got the right set of Yorkshires. Now, I don't think much of mine here, little lad here, which is a bit airy up at top, but not much down, down there. Yeah, that's what she's demonstrating. That, yeah, she ain't got much Yorkshire puddings up at top, but I'll buy it. She's not that bright, so I think she might do. So, yeah, right, lads.
So in the book, it's a little bit different compared to the movie. The movie sort of like cuts a lot out, and really, you don't really need it all. You get the explanation of it, obviously, where you got Doug McClaw, thinking that they could communicate and get saved, but obviously there's a lot of sabotaging in the submarine. Somehow the Germans have managed to do sneaky tricks and get away, even they're trying to keep them captive, but obviously not everybody knows how to handle the submarine, and obviously in the book they seem like to have the conspiracy that they're all in cuffs or something, and our character Lisa is obviously engaged with one of them. Obviously in the movie we all get the idea it's meant to be the baddie one, but there's none of that in the movie. Lisa is strictly for one girl, only for one fella. Yeah, you're all waiting for me to say it, Doug McClaw, yeah, ladies' man, but I know you're waiting for it. Well, I know I haven't mentioned it, but I will now. Troy McClaw in Simpsons. Yeah, that's what Doug McClaw's based on. But yeah, you may know him that he's a ladies' man, and he's got to have that lady. And obviously in real life, he collected a lot of, 5 wives. Well, not at the same time, but but yeah. The character Lisa is strictly, platonically, we presume single, and she's available for anyone. But in the book, she's more or less engaged to one of them Germans, and you'd be thinking, wait on, in the book, even they torpedoed the ship she was on, she would have been dead if it weren't for, our character. But yeah, it ain't how it goes. So in the book, they finally meet a Swedish sailboat, convince it, to come over. They get a bit disappointed because, they find out that they've got British people in charge. Now, another thing about the book, that they're lucky enough, they have a Union Jack with them as well. But that doesn't really help anybody, because obviously they all think that it's some form of German trap, and that's what the movie does. It cuts it straightforwardly easy. They get attacked. We see them getting attacked by one ship, and that's enough. And we all know that nobody don't believe them. So the reason why they might go off course is obviously, it's all to do with all the sabotaging, and it's the same with the compass, with the book. Even they do say they got other equipment, but they always say that got sabotaged. In this, it doesn't really have to explain about other equipment. We get the idea that a magnet on the compass has took them off course. So that was a lot of me whittering and comparing a little bit about the book and the movie, and yeah. Because you'd be wondering, where's the dinosaurs? Even the puppets. So, Doug McClaw, yeah, he's a quality actor. I'm not. because I'm Yorkshire and I'm not going to get my words completely right, and I don't know how to actually pronounce German. So Captain Van Doff or whatever, you know, even the movie has a bit of a difficulty as saying it. Well, you know, yeah, he has a rubbing. Just listen.
Captain Van Schoenvoort. Schoenvoort. Oh, thank you. Captain Van Schoenvoort.
See what I mean? So, I'm not going to get his name really good, but anyhow, this guy's might be engaged to her, and he said it got arranged by his auntie. So technically, did he know she was on that ship? Because, yeah, that is one way to break up a, you know, engagement, isn't it? So in the book, obviously, they speculate a lot of sabotaging, and they all well, Doug McClaw's character does speculate her in the book, but in the film, it's easily sorted out by sabotage with the radio. Obviously, one of, you know, our villain German destroys it, and that's when they start playing sort of little tiny bits of sabotaging and taking over the submarine. The British have got in charge of the submarine, and then next thing they lose it again, and then next thing the Germans get it again and they lose it again because the British take over. But like I said, it's speeded up. You know, there's one battleship chases them, and that's, you know, in the book there's a lot more, and sailboats and stuff. But anyhow, they get to their destination, what we really want. Yes, to find out that, you know, all the sabotaging and all that what's been happening, obviously, you know, when somebody is actually deliberately, you know, hung out the toilet paper and wet all the toilet paper, you can tell, I can prove it, you know, how they did that, you know, it's not snow, somebody did that with toilet paper. It's like the German said, he thinks he's that, there's no, you know, they're at south or something, and there ain't no icebergs, because no, some buggers thrown a load of polystyrene in the sea, haven't they? You don't believe me? What? Obviously, it's me demonstrating how the maid done it.
How do, everybody? So as you all know, that this is the translation of Yorkshire. Now, when you purchase a DVD, you have to go to special features, as you all know. Obviously, for Yorkshire folk, we have to go into languages and all that lot to find the right accent for us. And obviously, being Yorkshire, you have the little Yorkshire Doug McClaw popping up on these movies you may purchase, right? Because that's what happens. So, this little cartoon head is, yeah, I'm Yorkshire Doug McClaw, right, translated for Yorkshire folk and Yorkshire folk only, alright. So, as you can gather, that the person talking about the movie has left certain things about what happens in the movie, obviously, because we just want to know certain stuff. But obviously, how the movie starts, it starts off with Doug McClaw explaining stuff very quickly. So here it is.
I do not expect anyone to believe the story I'm about to relate. It even seems incredible to me that all that I have passed through, all those weird and terrifying experiences, should have been encompassed within as short a span as 3 brief months. It must have been a little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon that it began. The afternoon of June 3rd, 1916.
So, for Yorkshire folk to understand that, and Yorkshire folk only, they understood that, knowing that that guy is having a very bad day. It's like getting a lovely girlfriend, finding out that she doesn't actually understand the means and ways how folk watch Emmerdale on telly. And that makes it very upsetting and confusing for a Yorkshireman. So, that's what it means, what he might be babbling on about. So, we'll move on further on to the movie. As we see, these bad guys, they're classed as the Germans, right? And they shoot a shit, or as I say, a great big bloody boat on the ocean. So that's what it is. So Doug McClure has got his priorities right, because obviously he's going to have to be his way, make sure he's found a local nice lassie to, because like they're doing Emmerdale, that, she could do hot washing up and cleaning and make Yorkshire puddings for him, and obviously what they all do in Emmerdale as well. But obviously in the movie that they meet another bunch of old men, and we all know that she's going to be a typical Emmerdale lassie. And not even that, there's even more blokes in the movie in a bloody submarine, and they're all bloody German and all. So you know how this is going to turn out if it was like an episode of Emmerdale Farm, aye. But it isn't. So it's a children's Doug McClure adventure movie. So obviously it's going to be like where they see a submarine and they all come and sneak on it and have a bit of a ding dong with the Germans, have a bit of a argy-bargy and all that lot, and a bit of a ding dong, and obviously that's how it is, and that easily explains the Yorkshire translator. I hope you understand that bit. By gum, I tell you one thing about this movie, it's completely different from Emmerdale, I tell you that, because obviously if we've been sexist like a topical bloody Yorkshireman would do, is actually be saying, you can tell she's not from Emmerdale, I tell you that, because this lass doesn't mess about really, does she? When it comes down to Doug McClure in a bit of a jam with the Germans, she goes shooting, and she'll shoot anything. By heck, she can't help it but shoot everything in sight. By heck, she's gone crazy. By heck. But, she does still do a bit of Emmerdale, really. When Doug McClure gets in submarine, she gives him a right mucky look, I tell you that. So, it's still like a typical Emmerdale episode, isn't it? They always go like having affairs and all that lot, but they always want to backstab people as well, because it's good family entertainment is Emmerdale, I give you that. But this is a kiddies film, and by heck, there's some ruffle and tumbles in this as well. By heck, it's like watching an episode on the ocean of Emmerdale, I'll tell you that. Never mind your fancy tractors and farming, because they didn't do naught of that, did they? They're just too busy sleeping around in that Emmerdale, I'll tell you that. But by heck, it's Emmerdale on the ocean, I think. If they had submarines in it. So, I'll move on. To explain the rest of this bloody movie is obviously that, that the Germans are played as bad guys, right? So they're the villains, right? And to actually demonstrate what they're doing compared to the book, because obviously it's a kids movie, so you don't have that gruesome, stuff in, from film. But this is their excuse to get out of it. They're in a little bit of bother, they say.
Orders to service, my Captain?
No, please.
Survivors may live to fight another day.
We've had enough trouble already.
So we've worked out that the compass has been sabotaged with a magnet. They've been travelling 6 days south. So Doug McClure, and goes down as he does to look at the charts, and this guy, right? As I keep saying about his name, don't know how to pronounce it, right? So he's got a pistol. And he says this, because it's not Johnny Depp or anything, but obviously, it is classed as, piracy. You know, so, you know, so, sorry for the blurriness, but Doug is going to be executed as a pirate. That's what I'm trying to get at. Oh, like that, explain.
There's a German supply ship operating in this area, and we should rendezvous within the hour. And you, Commander, will be transferred to her and shot as a pirate.
So, yeah, so, you know, he's going to get shot. And, yeah, so Doug's in prison or whatever, you know, well, you know, they're being caught. So, there's this German ship destroyer or whatever. It's a German supply ship, and obviously, you know, he's going to get his supplies, and but before that happens, he gets his own place back, and he talks to, you know, our lovely little female, you know, he does, you know, that they talk about something really interesting, like this.
The ship you torpedoed contained nothing but innocent passengers, women and children.
And a hold full of arms and ammunition that would be used to kill women and children in my country. Oh yes. How else would it have exploded so quickly?
Really serious stuff.
You know, I'm a biologist, Captain. I study the structure of living things, their motivations and their behavior. But I don't understand you.
So, you'll be wondering about what they're on about sabotaging. Now, sabotaging is quite a simple process on a submarine, like they do, like shooting holes in the submarine, what is absolutely stupid, because obviously submarines are built to sink, and then they float up later on, obviously, but obviously I think they used that by using magnets, because I think that's what they were doing when they put a magnet in the compass, and so when the ship goes by, it'll, you know, bring it back to the surface, won't it? Now that's how I look at it, and how I look at it only, because I'm Yorkshire, and like I said, it's for Yorkshire folk, and it's Yorkshire folk only. And bye, I can't give you some right tips on how this, you know, this, you know, movie actually works, right? So simple as it is.
So, this guy goes to, is it Miss Clayton? I think he calls her Miss Clayton. Anyhow, you're here.
I apologize for disturbing you, Miss Clayton. Might I collect some of my...
He sort of has a bit of a snicker at Doug, you know, Mr. Bo Tyler, like, you were going to take us at the wrong place, and yeah, she's not amused. Just listen.
Did you know that Mr. Tyler was planning to take us to New England? I find his Yankee ingenuousness almost right.
This is where she mentions, I'm a biologist. And she rubs it in about death, because he, you know, like, you're German, you like killing people, especially in a submarine. And obviously with the book, it was a little bit different. I mean, it does mention that there's lots of actual women and children getting executed by the cannon and stuff and all that lot. But it's a kids' movie. It makes it a little bit more different, because it comes out with this very good remark at her.
How can anyone who is so interested in life follow a profession which is devoted to destruction and killing?
The study of nature, Miss Clayton, has taught me that life is founded upon killing and destruction.
In your face. But the thing is, we may think, well, wait on, it's a toy boat. obviously you fill it with a fat bit of gunpowder. Obviously it's going to blow up like that, but that was the special effects back then. So, you know, on the cheap. But yeah, they're not going to blow a real one up, are they? So obviously, yeah, they're going to meet that supply ship, and the tension's going to build up because obviously, oh dear, old Dougie, you know, he's going to get shot. So in the book, obviously, she gets accused of being maybe helping the Germans, but obviously it's the movie and it's left all that out. So you actually see her actually getting a key and getting old Dougie out and everyone, and obviously to get the ship back, and this, well, submarine I should say, sorry, you know, I should know my difference. One sinks on purpose and one doesn't sink on purpose, does it? You know, because it, you know, one's meant to float. Yeah. Anyhow, the idea is obviously Dougie's like, wait on, got a submarine, you know, sneaking about, let's fill tubes up and blow supply ship up. Yeah, at least I won't have a firing squad. And then, that's to rub it in, you're like, you idiot! Like, what? You know, we haven't got no supplies for a week and all that lot, and well, it don't matter to Doug, you're on about shooting him so in your face. And then later on they're going to rely on each other because they have a bit of a lovely drinking moment.
Would you like a drink?
So with that Yorkshire translation, if it was me as a Yorkshire Doug McClaw, I'll be playing games with the German fella, especially the humming Yorkshire tune TV celebrity whatever game. It will go like something like this, like I would be doing if it was that German fella giving me bloody alcohol like that, I tell you. It'd be like going like this. I'll be saying, name this tune fella. This will be me going, bagum, bagum. Do you know the tune yet? Bagum, I'm back in church, my boy. I went, bagum, bloody gum. Do you know it, fella? Because that's what I'll be saying to him. And if he ain't bloody entertained by that, then I demand to watch Yorkshire TV. But even TVs weren't invented. But there was a such thing as a radio. Even the German fella's broken it. But you can always guarantee with a broken radio, you'll always get Yorkshire Airways. And they always play the same commercials all the time for us Yorkshire folk and us Yorkshire folk only. So,
what a beautiful sight. Isn't it all? Makes you feel proud to be a Yorkshireman.
You don't find much like it outside Yorkshire.
No, a lot of it's just flat and boring. Not up here, though. I could sit here and drink it in all day.
Couldn't you just?
Come on, then. Let's get on.
John Smith's bitter. Yorkshiremen love it because Yorkshiremen brew it.
Quality. Great to listen to, but obviously I'm used to watching it as well, the commercials. As we all know, us Yorkshire folk are like, because as we all know. But obviously, if I was in the situation with these German fellas, and we all know these submarine commanders always had a beer making equipment. If they got equipment what can boil oil like a bloody still, you know, it's for making beer. We all know even Germans like the beer, but they don't drink like great big mucky beer like us Yorkshire folk, because we can't be bothered cleaning our equipment. That's why it's so bloody brown for, as we all think. But yeah, them bloody melanly bloody love songs we used to sing about Don't believe me, more commercials.
Evening, gentlemen. What'll it be? We like a John Smith's, a pint of John Smith's. Can't wait to savour that Yorkshire flavour. It's so golden and so clear, it's unlike any other beer. Yes, we really do adore it, and we do anything for it. Well, we hold it and we cling to it. We even sing to it. Look at the colour, it's like no other. Just a mention of the beer is music to our ears, and it's here. So cheers.
John Smith's Yorkshire Bitter. Worth making a song and dance about.
That is absolutely a bloody lovely melody, isn't it, everyone? Good, great song that it was. I am such craving now that I want to go for a typical pint, right? But I've got to give you one more commercial, because for us who's Yorkshire folk, that it be that time when it gets dark, like it does where a Yorkshire Doug McClaw, if he was there, when it's summering in the night, it gets dark, that it gives you the reason that I want to go somewhere nice and warm, down pub, and have a great nice pint, cold one, you know. So one more commercial, and then, well, I think, you know, I'll be gagging for a pint, everyone.
Right, price a call then, eh? Think it'll be a good year for Davies. What about women today then, eh? Fancy a pint of John Smith's? Oh, thanks, Alf, that's very kind. How's the wife? Oh, she's fine, thank you.
John Smith's Yorkshire Bitter brings back the art of conversation.
There's your Lockfoot moment. If you're proper Yorkshire, we all know that we're actually got to go to pub. It's in our edition, it's our instincts to go. And I'm very sorry to say that I can't carry on, because, you know, there's quality supping time to be done. So, for my moment, I'm going to leave you as this is part 1. And maybe tomorrow I can do part 2, and then I'm off to the pub again, as you usually do, right? So, for right now, right, I'm going to say something, you know, I'm going now, I'm off to the pub, right? So, I'll be back later. So, that's it. So, fare merry well, or whatever, you know. So, see ya. Bye. Ta-ra. Right? I'm out here. So, have a great day or night or whatever you're bloody doing. I don't care. Right, I've done my bit for today on this, this malarkey of talking about, if I was doing translation for Yorkshire Doug McClaw or Doug McClaw and all that lot. But you don't know what it's all at, folk. I've been wittering on it as enough, but now I've got to do most of it down at pub now and tell everyone what I've been up to. Alright, so for farewell, like I said, I'm a Yorkshireman and I've got to get on. So I've got serious supping, like I said. So, right, fair dues. Right, I'm going now. Right, I'm going, it's finishing. Right, don't get upset with part 2. Right, ciao. Right, gone.